Last class, we started discussing about Fibonacci heaps. We saw that a Fibonacci heap is a finite collection of rooted trees where each tree satisfies the min heap property. And we have seen that a circular doubly linked list results in efficient algorithms for deletion, insertion and join, and hence Fibonacci heap structure, mainly the root list and the list representing the children of a node, can be represented using circular doubly linked list. And if you remember, we also have defined a potential function for doing amortized analysis on Fibonacci heap operations. And the potential function is defined as the number of trees in the heap plus 2 into the number of marked nodes, and that is the potential function defining a potential for every heap instance. And the agenda for this lecture is to discuss some operations on Fibonacci heaps. So we shall see some operations on Fibonacci heaps, and the operations are called mergeable heap operations, because if you look at Fibonacci heap, you can combine two heaps into a single heap by just merging. The first operation that we are going to discuss is an operation to create a new Fibonacci heap. This is the name of that operation, and what it wants to do first is just obtain a Fibonacci heap object, say H. And if you recall, a Fibonacci heap like this contains a pointer to the node whose key value is minimum. So if H is a heap, there is a field called min, which is representing the address of the node which is having the least key value. And there is one more field in the header node, which is nothing but the number of nodes in the given heap instance. For example, here it is 14. You can just count, you can see that there are 14 nodes in this heap instance. So these are the only two fields that you need in the node structure representing the heap. It is a pointer, there is a pointer to the node with the least key value, which is the min field of the heap, and there is the n field which represents the number of nodes. And you just want to create a new Fibonacci heap where there is no trees hanging on that. So you have to say that the pointer to the min node is nil because there is no tree. And of course you have to make the number of nodes as 0 to be consistent, because you don't have any trees, the min is nil and n is 0. So this is a very straightforward procedure. Just to obtain an object of this kind, and you set the min as nil because there is no tree, and set the number of nodes as 0. So this is the number of nodes, and we are going to find the amortized cost of each operation, and which is the actual cost plus the amortized cost of an operation, sorry, plus the potential difference. And here there is no doubt in saying that the complexity of this is order of 1, just 3 statements. And what is the potential of the resulting instance? You can see that the potential is defined as potential of an instance H of a heap is defined as the number of trees in the heap plus 2 into the number of marked nodes. And here you made a heap where there is no trees, so the number of trees is 0, and since there are no trees, the number of marked nodes is again 0. So the potential of the first instance itself is 0, and hence you are getting the amortized cost, which is actually the actual cost plus the potential difference, which is now 0, so it is order of 1 itself. Thus we have an order of 1 amortized cost algorithm for creating a new Fibonacci heap. And not that here we are not creating any nodes or tree, we are just creating an object to hold the basic header information about the heap, and you are setting the min as nil because no trees are there in the root list. So actually you are creating a null list, and the number of nodes is of course 0. With this, let us proceed and see how can we insert a node. Suppose we are given with a heap instance like this, and we have to insert a new node, say x, whose key value is 21. So how will you do it? You know that the root list is actually a circular doubly linked list, and if you just add this single node as a tree in the root list, then that completes the main operation to insert. So maybe because it's a circular doubly linked list and the header is pointing to this node, you can either insert this node 21 in the root list just before 3 or just after 3. Assume that you are going to assume it just before 3. This is what you have to do. Now you can look at the procedure given in the textbook. Please don't get worried about it, we are going to see what this is exactly doing. So in the first part of this procedure, what is it doing is, because you are going to insert the node x as a root node of a tree, which is the only node in that tree, single node tree, you have to say that the parent of 21 is nil because it's not pointing to anywhere, and the degree of that is again correct 0 because no child nodes, and because no child nodes are there, the child field must be nil, and there is no need to mark it. Later, maybe in the next class, we can see when a node can be marked. Here when you create a tree with a single node, its mark must be set as false. So you just prepare the node so that you can insert it. Then what is next? Next you are checking, suppose the list given is nil, then this must be the condition. The min is pointing to nil means there is no tree. Then originally there is no node in the heap, so you will be having only x as the single node in the resulting heap. In that case, what you do? You create a root list containing x only, a circular doubly linked list pointing to itself, just one node circular doubly linked list, and of course you set the min as pointing to this node, because in this particular case originally there was no node in this heap, and this is going to be the only node, the situation where you don't have all these nodes, then this will be the only node, and this is what you are doing here. Suppose it is not the case, you have a heap like this, then you can just insert a node x into the list, and because the external pointer is pointing to 3, you can insert it just before 3 or just after 3 in a constant time algorithm. And if you recall what we discussed as an insert in the last class, we are inserting it just as the previous node of the min. So this is an order of 1 operation, and now you just inserted a node with key value 21, and that is fine because the existing min key value is 3, so you don't have to change this min. And there may be a case in which you insert a node with value 1. In that case, that node should become, with the key value 1 should become the min node of the heap, and that is what we are doing next. Suppose the newly inserted node is containing a key value which is less than the present minimum of the heap, then you should definitely set the min pointing to the new node, because the new node is having the least key value among all the nodes in the resulting heap. So that is what we do here, and because you inserted a node, you have to increment the number of nodes by 1. I hope now you are getting what this algorithm is doing. Now proceed and see what is the complexity. We need to find the amortized cost of this operation, and for that we need to first find the actual cost and then the potential difference, and not that the amortized cost is nothing but the actual cost plus the potential difference. Here no doubt the actual cost is 1 because only a constant number of instructions are executed. There is no loop here, so it's order of 1. And what is the amortized cost? This is the definite, what is the potential function? This is how it is defined for the heap instance before you perform the operation. Then if you look at the potential for the instance that you obtain after the operation, call it as h prime. So it's nothing but the number of trees in h prime plus 2 into the number of marked nodes in h prime. And if you look at this operation, the number of trees is getting increased by 1. So the number of trees in the resulting instance is nothing but the number of trees in the original instance plus 1. And the marked nodes are same as in the case of the original instance because the new node is not marked. So it's exactly same as the number of marked nodes in the original instance. So this is the potential of the output instance. And if you take the difference, that is the potential difference between the output instance and the input instance, you can easily see that it is 1. This is th plus 2 into mh plus 1, and this is th plus 2 into mh. So you will get 1 as the potential difference, and hence the amortized cost is order of 1. And now let us proceed and see a procedure to find the node with the minimum key. You know that given a Fibonacci heap instance, the header node contains a pointer which points to the minimum key node, so you can just return it. Given a heap, you know that h dot min is pointing to the min value node, just return that. So this is of course an order of 1 operation, very easy to see. Now let us proceed and see a procedure for uniting two Fibonacci heaps. We can just consider that algorithm. We will see what this algorithm is doing. It's just copy it from the textbook. And what is it doing first is, it is obtaining an object to point to the resulting heap instance. So you are given with h1 and h2, you want to combine. You are creating a new node pointer to represent the combined heaps h1 and h2. And now after that, what you do is you say that, okay, blindly you are saying that the minimum will be the minimum from the first list. That may or may not be correct. We can change later if we need. You are assuming that the first list, the minimum value will be less than or equal to the minimum value in the second list. This is just an assumption, and the probability of correctness is only 1/2. Later, if it is not correct, the algorithm is correcting it. So don't worry about the assumption. Okay, if the assumption is wrong, there is a later step where you can correct it. So here you assume that the first list is going to contain the least key value among all the nodes in h1 and h2. And if that assumption is correct, this is okay. If it is wrong, later we are going to correct it. Then after that, what you do, you just concatenate the circular doubly linked list. Last class we saw that there is an order of 1 algorithm to concatenate. Just apply that algorithm and concatenate the root lists. And after that, you are checking whether the assumption was false or not. And suppose originally the first list is empty. So this is the case. h1.min is nil, means h1 is empty. Then this is a wrong assumption, right? Or h2 is not empty. That is, there are some nodes in h2, and the minimum key value of h2 is less than the minimum key value of h1. That means this assumption is wrong. Actually, in min you should get h2.min, and that is what you are doing here. Maybe you can do it in the other way, that's up to you. This is what the author is saying. Okay, now you are done, and that, see how easily you merged. Unlike in the case of binomial heap where you wanted to do more operations than this, here you just conjoin or combine the circular doubly linked list representing the root list in h1 and h2, and after that you just find where the min should point to. It should either point to the min field of the first list or the second list. So whichever is required, you do that. And because you combined h1 and h2 into a single list, in the resulting instance the number of nodes will be the sum of the number of nodes in h1 and h2, and finally you return. What is the complexity? You can see that the actual cost is order of 1, because every operation here takes order of 1 time, even including this concatenate. That is what we saw in the last class. And now we have to see what is the potential difference, which is nothing but the potential of the resulting instance, that is a phi of h minus the phi of h1 plus phi of h2, because the initial instance is having 2 lists, and that is why the potential is added. And if you substitute the value of this function, phi of h is defined as the number of trees in h plus 2 into number of marked nodes in h. Similarly, phi of h1 and phi of h2 are defined. You can easily verify the number of trees in h plus 2 into number of marked nodes in h minus phi of h1. What is it? Number of trees in h1 plus 2 into number of marked nodes in h1. Similarly, here I am putting in the bracket itself The potential of H2 is nothing but the number of trees in H2 plus 2 into number of marked nodes in H1. H2. Now, if you observe, you can see that the number of trees in the resulting instance must be the number of trees in H1 plus number of trees in H2, because you are just combining the list H1 and H2 into a single heap. So, the sum of the trees, number of trees, is the number of trees in the resulting instance, because you are just combining two lists. Now, you can see that T of H is nothing but T of H1 plus T of H2. So, you are cancelling T of H with minus T of H1 and minus T of H2. You can easily verify that this is correct, and not that this minus is there and this is in the bracket, and therefore this plus is becoming a minus. And similarly, you can see that the number of marked nodes in H is nothing but the number of marked nodes in H1 plus number of marked nodes in H2, because you are just combining, right? And then similarly, you can cancel this 2 into MH1 and 2 into MH2 with this 2 in this MH, because this is the sum of this and this. So, I hope you are getting it, otherwise please verify it. We did it because T of H is nothing but T of H1 plus T of H2, and M of H is nothing but M of H1 plus M of H2. And if you substitute these values for T of H and M of H here and here and expand, you can easily see that 0 is the potential difference, and hence the amortized cost is order of 1. And with this, we are finishing this lecture. So, today we have seen a number of operations on Fibonacci heaps. They are called mergeable heap operations, and today we looked at an operation to create an empty Fibonacci heap, then to insert a node, and after which we have seen an operation to find the minimum key value node, which is very easy because it is directly available in the header node itself. And at last we have seen an algorithm for combining two or uniting two Fibonacci heaps. And unlike in the case of binomial heaps, here we did amortized analysis on this data structure, and we found that all these operations, that is creating a heap or inserting a node, finding the min value node, and even to join two lists, the complexity of each of these operations is order of 1, which is very efficient when compared to the binomial heap. But not that here we are doing amortized analysis. With this, we are finishing this lecture, and in the next lecture we can see few more operations, and where we will see why a mark field is used in the implementation of a Fibonacci heap, which actually helps in getting an efficient algorithm for an operation. That we shall see in the next class. Thank you.